Line number 31 to 40. Footsteps shuffled on the stair. Under the firelight, under the brush, her hair spread out in fiery points. Glowed into words, then would be savagely still. My nerves are bad tonight. Yes, bad. Stay with me. Speak to me. Why do you never speak? Speak. What are you thinking of? What thinking? What? I never know what you are thinking. Think. Single quote. I think we are in Rat's Alley, where the dead men lost their bones. Explanation. The stanza begins with the sound of footsteps on the stairs, creating a sense of anticipation and unease. The woman is described as sitting in front of a fire, and her hair is depicted as glowing in the light. The image of her hair spreading out in fiery points is a metaphor for her heightened emotional state, which is likely due to the themes of death and decay that permeate the poem. The woman then speaks, revealing her anxiety and demanding that the speaker speak to her. She is frustrated by their silence and demands to know what they are thinking. The repetition of the word, think, emphasizes her desire for communication and understanding. The final two lines of the stanza abruptly shift the focus to a dark and desolate place, Rat's Alley, where the dead have lost their bones. This line emphasizes the sense of decay and despair that pervades the poem and highlights the woman's anxiety as a response to this larger sense of destruction. Overall, the stanza explores themes of anxiety, communication, and death in a powerful and evocative way. The use of metaphor and vivid imagery creates a sense of heightened emotion and emphasizes the larger themes of the poem. Line number 41 to 47. What is that noise? Single quote. The wind under the door. What is that noise now? What is the wind doing? Single quote. Nothing again, nothing. Do you know nothing? Do you see nothing? Do you remember? Nothing. Single quote. I remember. Those are pearls that were his eyes. Are you alive, or not? Is there nothing in your head? Single quote. Explanation. In these lines, the speaker is engaging in a dialogue with an unnamed interlocutor, expressing their sense of confusion, anxiety, and despair. The repetition of the question, what is that noise? Emphasizes the speaker's disorientation and their need for answers. The interlocutor's responses of, nothing again nothing, and, do you know nothing? Do you see nothing? Do you remember nothing? Create a sense of futility and hopelessness, as though the speaker is trapped in a cycle of confusion and despair. The speaker's recollection of a line from Shakespeare's The Tempest adds a layer of complexity to the stanza. The line, those are pearls that were his eyes, refers to the transformation of a dead body into pearls, suggesting the transience and decay of life. This idea is reinforced by the repeated use of the word, nothing, which suggests the emptiness and futility of existence. The final line, are you alive, or not? Is there nothing in your head? Underscores the speaker's sense of disconnection and their desire for meaning and understanding. This line highlights the theme of isolation and alienation that runs throughout the poem. Overall, these lines are a powerful expression of the despair and confusion that characterize much of The Wasteland. Through the use of repetition, literary allusions, and evocative imagery, Eliot creates a sense of fragmentation and disorientation that reflects the fractured state of modern consciousness. Line number 48 to 59. But, oh, that Shakespearean rag. It's so elegant. So intelligent. What shall I do now? What shall I do? Single quote. I shall rush out as I am, and walk the street. With my hair down, so. What shall we do tomorrow? What shall we ever do? Single quote. The hot water at 10. And if it rains, a closed car at 4. And we shall play a game of chess. Pressing lidless eyes and waiting for a knock upon the door. Explanation. The lines you've quoted are part of a larger section in T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland, that explores themes of disillusionment, isolation, and the breakdown of communication. The poem is often considered a reflection of the fragmented, disillusioned state of post-World War I society, and the A Game of Chess section specifically highlights the disconnection between people who are physically together but emotionally distant. The mention of the Shakespearean rag could be seen as a symbol of the speaker's attempt to find meaning and beauty in a world that has lost its order and structure. The use of the word intelligent suggests a desire for intellectual stimulation, and perhaps a belief that music can provide that. The specific mention of time and plans for the day could be seen as a way for the speaker to maintain some sense of routine and structure in a world that has become chaotic and unpredictable. However, the fact that the plans are based on the weather and the speaker's own internal musings rather than any external obligations suggests a sense of aimlessness and lack of purpose. The final line, with its mention of waiting for a knock upon the door, could be interpreted as a metaphor for the speaker's desire for human connection and communication. The fact that they are playing chess alone, with lidless eyes, suggests a lack of engagement and passion in their own life, and perhaps a sense of resignation or despair. Overall, these lines highlight the sense of ennui and isolation that pervades much of the wasteland, and suggest a world in which people are struggling to find meaning and connection in a fragmented and disordered society. Line number 60 to 70. When Lil's husband got demobbed, I said. I didn't mince my words, I said to her myself. Hurry up please, it's time. Now Albert's coming back, make yourself a bit smart. He'll want to know what you done with that money he gave you. To get yourself some teeth. He did, I was there. You have them all out, Lil, and get a nice set. He said, I swear, I can't bear to look at you. And no more can't I said, and think of poor Albert. He's been in the army 4 years, he wants a good time. And if you don't give it him, there's others will, I said. Explanation. The section explores themes of isolation, loneliness, and the breakdown of communication in modern society. The specific lines depict a conversation between two women, in which one of them, the speaker, urges Lil to improve her appearance before her husband returns from the army. At first glance, the conversation might seem superficial and trivial, but upon closer analysis, it reveals deeper societal issues. The mention of, that money he gave you to get yourself some teeth, highlights the societal pressure on women to conform to beauty standards, and the idea that one's worth is often tied to their appearance. The speaker's statement, and no more can't I said, and think of poor Albert, implies that Lil's appearance is not only a concern for her husband, but for others in society as well. The speaker is urging Lil to conform to societal expectations, and is not considering Lil's own feelings or desires. Furthermore, the suggestion that Lil's husband will seek out other women if she doesn't provide him with a good time, reinforces patriarchal views of relationships, in which women are expected to fulfill men's desires at all times. This implies a power imbalance in relationships and suggests that women are not seen as autonomous individuals with their own desires and needs. Overall, these lines highlight the societal pressure on women to conform to beauty standards and to prioritize the desires of men over their own well-being and autonomy. They suggest a bleak view of gender roles and relationships in modern society, in which women are objectified and valued primarily for their appearance and ability to please men.